Welcome to my new series called Actually Good Tutorials, or AGT for short. I thought of it in like 5 seconds, okay, shut up. This is a new series I made for Siege and maybe other games in the future, and if you're wondering why I'm making a Siege tutorial now, it's because, quite frankly, all the Siege tutorials out there are shit. They're either super outdated, or made by somebody who died many moons ago, or they're made by one of those people who start all the videos with just like, yo, what's up everybody? Today we're gonna be playing a Rainbow Six Siege tutorial. It's a video game on the internet. Like, shut the fuck up, please. So I'm gonna use this tutorial in order to attract new players into the game, and yeah, that's about it. If you're a first-time Rainbow Six player, I would recommend that you watch it either in chunks or you watch it as a refresher whenever you're about to load up the game. I'm also planning to do more tutorials on more specific parts of Siege, so if you don't want to miss those, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification! Rainbow Six Siege is a 5v5 tactical team-based shooter game. It's focused on the usage of utility, map destruction, and teamwork in order to allow your team to win the round. Every single gun hits hard, and with the exception of shotguns, will kill with 1 bullet to the head. Every round will have 5 attackers go against 5 defenders, and all attackers are equipped with 2 drones that can be used to scout out rooms around the map. And each attacker or defender has a special primary ability, which can be used to influence a round in their own, mostly unique way. There are 3 different objectives: hostage, where the attackers will take the hostage out of the building; secure area, where the attackers will want to stay in one room while denying the defenders access to said room; or the most competitive game mode, and the mode I will be focusing on, bomb. In bomb, defenders try to protect the bomb site. These bomb sites are not randomly generated, rather there are 3 to 4 locations that the defenders can actually choose the bomb to spawn in. The attackers must plant and protect the diffuser in order to defuse it. Now, here are some first things about this game that you should understand. This game is difficult. I assume you've seen clips before of people going insane and killing everyone on the other team in 2 seconds. Realize that you will not be doing that in the beginning. Before you can do this, you have to learn how to do this. DB&O, meaning down but not out, is a bleed out stage and the most vulnerable an operator can be. Since they can't shoot back, the movement is very slow and limited, and without care you will die. However, if you're in this stage, a teammate can help you back up and bring you back in your feet at 20 HP without another chance to go DB&O again, with very few exceptions. A spawn peek. A spawn peek is when a defender is looking/running outside with the goal of killing an attacker very early into the round. A rotate or a rotate hole. This is a hole that defenders will create between certain rooms, typically bomb sites, to allow easy access to them. Utility. Utility is a general term referring to the tools the attack/defense have to hinder the other team in some way, shape, or form. Each operator with a unique gadget will have the option to choose between 2 preset secondary gadgets. Defender utility. Every operator has unique abilities, but also have secondary abilities, which multiple operators can bring. On defense, these include impact grenades. You'll get 2 of them, and they'll explode on impact. They don't do much damage, but they can open walls very quickly, leaving a hole big enough for an operator to walk through. They can also be used to kill any operator who is down but not out. C4/nitrocells. They're explosive that do much more damage, stick to surfaces, but can be destroyed when shot and make a beeping sound when deployed. You generally want to use these on the spot, throwing your C4 in an area where the enemies are. Barbed wire. You get 2, and they're placed on the ground and make a sound when an operator walks through it. If an attacker tries to walk through it, they'll be slowed down, and it can be destroyed by 2 melee attacks or an explosive. Deployable shields. They're shields that you can place nearly anywhere in the map, or flush with the sides of the walls or doors. They have tiny 2-way slits that you can use to line up a shot. They can only be destroyed by explosives, or if you can, stand directly on top of it. Proximity alarms. You get 2, and they are throwable discs that make a distinct beeping noise when someone gets in range of it. However, they are able to be shot, so you don't want to leave this gadget out in the open. Bulletproof cameras. It's a camera that cannot pan around, but cannot be shot from the front and can look through smoke grenades. It can be destroyed with an explosive or a knife, or being shot at from the sides. Attacking utility. Breaching charges. You get 3, and you can place them on soft walls/floors to make a breach big enough to walk or see through. However, they make a distinct sound when they are being placed, so place them with caution. Claymores. You can place these down at windows/doors or on your flank, and any defender that steps on the red light will blow up. However, they can be destroyed with bullets/explosives, and the red light extending in front of them gives away their position, letting the defenders know that there is a claymore there. Frag grenade/grenade/frags. You get 2, and they function mostly like frag grenades do in other games. You can cook them so they explode sooner, they can ricochet off walls, etc. Smoke/smoke grenades. You get 2, and once thrown, a smoke cloud is formed, which can allow attackers to get by lines of sight from the defenders. Stun grenade/flash grenade/flashes. You get 3, and any operator looking at them or incredibly near them will be fully blinded, but as long as you aren't looking directly at them, you should be fine. Heartbeat chargers. The only attack or secondary gadget that can destroy reinforced walls. Once deployed, it is automatically detonated. It can destroy hatches entirely, or make crouch/multiple holes in reinforced walls. The Gone 6. This is actually a secondary weapon, of which only a few operators have the ability to equip. Equipping this means you don't have your secondary pistol/SMG/shotgun, but you will have access to another secondary gadget. This weapon does very little damage and does not open big holes in walls, but you will be able to destroy bulletproof gadgets and soft hatches. Your team will get 10 reinforcements at the start of the match, and they allow soft walls that look like this to become reinforced walls that look like this. You'll want to create holes between the bomb sites and even to rooms extending outside the bomb site, which you can easily create with shotguns or explosives. The most common explosive to make rotate holes being impact grenades. You will want to do this so the attackers can't cut off your typically one way to rotate between the bomb sites. It will take me much too much time to explain the default strategy for each and every bomb site and every map, so take this as a general rule of thumb. Have one hole between each site and reinforce all walls that lead outside the bomb site. This will carry you for a little bit and long enough for you to learn the actual default setups. And if you all are interested, I could do a feature on all the competitive or ranked map default setups. Remember that the timer works for you as a defender and against you as an attacker. As an attacker, remember that the ranked plant timer is 7 seconds and the timer will go past 0 if you start the planting animation after the 7-second mark. So even if you start planting with 1 second to go, you will still be able to get the plant down. However, if you stop the plant animation at any time past that for any reason, you will instantly lose the round. Also take into account this tiny animation that plays before you plant. If you are in this part of the animation while the clock goes past 0, the round will not extend for your plant. So as a defender, you will want to deny this by any means possible, whether that be by smokes babes, nitrocells or C4s, or using your gun. In any case, you want to prevent the attackers from planting at all costs because you really want to avoid defenders only have 45 seconds to defuse the diffuser, and the round will not extend if you are late to defusing. So, if you start disabling the diffuser at 5 seconds, it'll be impossible for you to win the round. Knowing this as an attacker, you want to stay alive at all times during the post plan and only peek when the enemy is disabling your diffuser. There are plenty of interactions that can happen in this time, but that's much more advanced stuff, and I can also save that for a future AGT video. And after all that, we finally get to the characters. Let's start with the defending operators. When people ask me what operator should be my first one, I have to factor in many things, the two most important ones being the cost of an operator and their playstyle. Now the cost is easy, the farther down and to the right something is, the more expensive the operator is. Now, their playstyle. As a defender, what is your first instinct? If it's to protect the bomb site for your team, you're an anchor. If it's to go off-site and waste time for your team, you're a roamer. Every team composition needs an operator that will anchor. If everyone is off-site doing their own thing, the attackers will see the site as free real estate. Almost every operator that is 3 armor will be relegated to site, as roaming would be much too slow and much too loud to do. They also typically have incredibly powerful weapons that are good at punishing operators who try to push through choke points with very little time. However, the attackers know this, and will open the walls around the bomb site to force anchors into a bad spot. But the attackers have so much time, how will we ever delay them? Well, roamers. If you only take one thing away from what I will say about roamers, take this. Your job is not to get kills. It is to waste time. Let's look at this round. There's 1 player on the first floor and 2 on the second floor. Notice how all the hatches are open so they can drop down later. 30 seconds or so later, this mute shoots a drone and starts heading back to the first floor. Note how no one has died, and yet there's only 1 minute and 30 seconds left in the round for the attackers. 2 drop the hatch and 1 goes on the main stairs. They haven't even harmed a single attacking operator, but they left them with only just over 1 minute, leaving the defense with a huge advantage. Waste enough time, the attackers will scramble to attack the site, giving your anchors an easy cleanup job. Intel. Intel operators can sometimes be the difference between winning and losing a round. Most Intel operators will have cameras, such as Valkyrie's throwable sticky cameras or Maestro's bulletproof evil eye. However, it can also come from other sources like Pulse's heartbeat scanner or Kavera's ability to reveal all enemy positions through interrogations. Drone denial. Information is key in this game, and the sources of information from the attackers are from their drones, so defenders have operators that are dedicated to denying them information. For example, Mute can place down jammers that will render a drone unusable if they get too close. And Muzzy can steal drones and use them against the attackers if they get too close to his pests. Wall denial. Keeping reinforced walls intact is obviously a top priority to defenders. That's why nearly every round you will want a Mute who can also deny hard breach, or a bandit and a kite with electricity that'll deny the walls from being open. However, keep in mind that Maverick can open holes in reinforced walls no matter what denial is on it, and if he's good enough, he'll be able to Maverick entire walls without the need to destroy any wall denial. Grenade denial. The final type of operator you will want every single round is grenade denial. These operators consist of Jaeger, Romai, and Warden. I'm just kidding. Fuck you, Warden. Jaeger and Romai have gadgets that either destroy or move the locations of projectile respectively, which denies the attack an opportunity to destroy bulletproof gadgets. However, smart attackers will use flashbangs or other explosives to burn these gadgets before using their explosives.
Put your head with me. I appreciate that.
I'll ask the same question for the attackers. What is your first instinct as an attacker? If it's to gather intel for your team, you are a support/hard breach. If it's to run and gun blazing, you're a moron! But if you play a frag heavy role, then you are the fragger, and if you're anywhere in between, like holding flanks or destroying utility, then you are the flex player. In lower ranks, reinforcements are all you're really going to need to worry about, so Thermite, Habana, Maverick, and Ace will be priceless, as they are the only operators that can actually open these walls. And like we mentioned, some other operators have hard breach gadgets that can also open walls and hatches, but for the sake of simplicity, we're going to focus on the dedicated hard breach operators, and for this guide I will also focus on Thermite, as he is the most available to new players. But don't sleep on him. Despite him being very cheap and very easy, he is still used in pro play a lot. Now the reason the hard breach operator will join people in is simple. If your hard breach dies, you are, and excuse my French, capital F, fucked. So here's the one gathering intel while the fraggers enter the room that has the wall you want to open. Fraggers. Very straightforward. The teammate that is playing hard breach will use their drone to scout the room ahead of you. They'll shoot the head of anyone that's found. Typically operators with easy to use utility that can disorient defenders will be your fraggers, such as Ash and Zofia. Moving on. Flex. Flex is a pretty general role, and you'll want to hold the flanks or hold drones that look at flanks. Because of how general Flex is, I can't really fit it into one category. It's everything that isn't support or fraggers, which is a lot of operators. Just know that if you're not the first person going inside to get the kills, nor are you the person opening reinforced walls, you're probably a Flex player. Now let's get a little bit more specific. Utility removal. What utility means in this game is typically referring to enemy gadgets. While some gadgets are shootable, most that are in meta are bulletproof or gadgets that are meant to keep reinforced walls safe, which are kept under intense protection. You'll need to get operators that can destroy or disable utility through walls such as Kali or Thatcher, and operators to destroy bulletproof gadgets such as Ash or Zofia, who both have grenade launchers. Roam clear. Because time is such an important resource, the attackers cannot waste too much time finding and killing defenders who are roaming. There are specific operators that excel at finding these operators, those being Jackal, Dokkaebi, and Lion. Each of them having an ability that in some way, shape, or form finds or hinders the ability of roamers. But dead memes, they aren't seen much in pro play. Why are roam clear operators important if they're not used in high level play? Very good question. They aren't. In Pro League, not only do they need more utility clear, but they also don't need these operators. In reality, all roam clear operators will almost never be meta, and that's because pro players have drones. Drones are an invaluable resource. You can have smoke grenades, frag grenades, all the hard breach on earth, an amazing gun, a girlfriend, a loving family, and still die because you didn't know that there was a Wamai sitting in that corner. Now, how are you meant to know that there was a Wamai in that corner? Using a drone. Pop quiz. At the start of a round as an attacker, what do you do with your drone? If you said B, you're wrong. I literally just said drones are an invaluable resource. Why are you throwing yours into the building just for it to get destroyed immediately? As a beginning attacker, you can send 1 or 2 of your team's drones to find the bomb site, but overall you want to save a majority of them for the round, and once you get better at the game and understand and remember where the bomb sites can and will be, you won't even need to sacrifice any drones to find the bomb site. And I can't really explain to you how to drone properly and efficiently in this video without making it much too long. All you need to know is that the hard breachers are the ones that are using their drones, and someone should be following right behind it. Otherwise, the information gathered is useless, since defenders can move after shooting a drone. The more you know. And that's it. I can guarantee that if you watch this video over a couple more times and really think about all these tips the next time you play Siege, you will gain XP at the end of the match. In reality, there isn't really a guide out there that I or anyone could make that could help you play in better and win just like that. Like, you really need in-game time, because a tip guide isn't going to replace thousands of hours in a game. I could play the worst operator with an awful controller on an awful map and still do better than a new player with the best operator on the best map on mouse and keyboard, just because I have so much time in this fucking game. And remember what I said at the start, this game will kick your ass, alright? But you'll have a moment, and maybe it's an ace, maybe it's a clutch, maybe it's just 1 kill, but you will have a moment where you realize, hey, this game is pretty fucking cool. Or you maybe will just get spawn peeked, leave the match, and uninstall instantly. I don't know. Either way, I hope you found this guide fun and informative and not a slog to get through. Later, nerds. Advantage for the defense, as the attackers will have to scramble as I fucking destroy my phone.